Imagine this scenario. The United States ceases to exist tomorrow. Sounds far-fetched? Hold that thought. Let's entertain an idea so outrageous, so unthinkable, that it borders on the realm of science fiction. What if one day the United States, in all its bustling cities, vast landscapes, and cultural diversity, simply vanished from the map? What could possibly cause such a catastrophic event? A meteor strike, a nuclear war, or perhaps something more sinister lurking beneath our very feet? Enter the Yellowstone supervolcano, a sleeping giant nestled within the beauty of Yellowstone National Park. While it might be known for its geysers and hot springs, this picturesque haven hides a secret of epic proportions. The park is the roof of a colossal volcanic system capable of eruptions so powerful they could change the face of the planet. Now you may be thinking, surely such a cataclysmic event is purely hypothetical, right? Well, not exactly. In the grand scheme of Earth's history, the Yellowstone supervolcano has erupted 3 times, each time spewing enough ash and lava to significantly alter the global climate and landscape. Imagine this, a sudden explosion, a plume of ash miles high casting a shadow across the continent. Cities covered in a thick layer of ash, skies darkened for months, even years. The aftermath of such an event would be nothing short of apocalyptic. But before we dive into the realm of dystopian horror, let's consider the science behind all this. The Yellowstone supervolcano is a real monitored entity. Scientists keep a wary eye on this sleeping beast, studying its every shift and grumble. But could it really wake up one day and wipe out a nation? Could a volcanic eruption really wipe out a nation? Let's delve into the volcanic activity at Yellowstone. Tucked away in the United States lies a dormant supervolcano, Yellowstone. This ancient marvel, nestled within the picturesque landscapes of Yellowstone National Park, has a storied past that is as intriguing as it is intimidating. Let's delve into the past and unravel the history of this sleeping giant. Yellowstone has been home to 3 massive eruptions in the last 2.1 million years. The most recent of these cataclysmic events occurred 640,000 years ago, painting a vivid picture of the volcano's immense power. Yet it's not just these colossal eruptions that make Yellowstone fascinating. The park is a hotbed of geothermal activity with nearly 500 geysers, including the world-renowned Old Faithful. These geysers and hot springs are the surface manifestations of the intense heat and pressure that lies beneath, a constant reminder of the seething giant that slumbers below. But why are we talking about this now? Well, Yellowstone recently experienced a hydrothermal explosion near Sapphire Pool. This is a relatively common occurrence in the park, caused by underground water flashing to steam. While this event might seem alarming to some, it's important to note that there's no indication of increased volcanic activity. The last volcanic eruption at Yellowstone occurred 70,000 years ago, and the park is constantly monitored for any signs of potential volcanic activity. So, this sleeping giant seems to be at rest, for now. But the question that looms large in our minds, the question that sends a chill down our spines, is this: what if this sleeping giant awakens? What would be the impact? An eruption at Yellowstone could potentially be a cataclysm, a game-changer. Now let's imagine this scenario for a moment. Picture the immediate aftermath of a massive eruption. The first thing we'd likely see is an enormous ashfall. Envision a thick gray cloud blotting out the sun and casting an eerie twilight over the land. This ash wouldn't just be an inconvenience, it could be downright deadly, burying entire cities under several feet of ash and causing roofs to collapse under the weight. Beyond the immediate vicinity of the eruption, the ash would be carried by the wind, potentially spreading across the entire United States. This could disrupt air travel, damage infrastructure, and have serious health impacts. Imagine breathing in tiny shards of glass-like particles. Not a pleasant thought, is it? But the effects wouldn't stop there. The ash and gases released by the eruption could have longer-term climate impacts. This is what scientists call a volcanic winter. The ash and sulfur dioxide would form a layer in the atmosphere, reflecting sunlight back into space and causing global temperatures to drop. This could lead to crop failures and famine, affecting food supplies not just in the United States but around the world. The United States as we know it could be drastically changed. Major cities could be abandoned due to ashfall, and large parts of the country could become uninhabitable. The economy could collapse and the impacts could ripple out, affecting the global economy. So yes, an eruption at Yellowstone could potentially be a cataclysm, a game changer. It could change the face of the United States and have profound impacts on the world. But what are the chances of such an event occurring? Predicting volcanic eruptions is a tricky business, but we can make some educated guesses. When it comes to Yellowstone, the scientific community has a fairly good grasp on what's happening beneath the surface. The park is a hotbed of geothermal activity with nearly 500 geysers and countless hot springs. But the sleeping giant beneath it all, the Yellowstone supervolcano, has been relatively quiet for the past 70,000 years. Advanced monitoring systems are in place, constantly checking for any signs of increased volcanic activity. These systems provide early warnings and help keep us a step ahead of any potential eruption. As of now, there is no indication that a cataclysmic super-eruption is imminent. This doesn't mean an eruption is impossible, though. The park has experienced 3 massive eruptions in the past 2.1 million years. The most recent of these occurred around 640,000 years ago. Since then, the volcano has shown signs of increased activity, but experts believe the likelihood of another catastrophic eruption is slim. Minor events like steam, hot water, or lava flows are more likely to occur. These smaller eruptions are relatively common in Yellowstone and don't signal an impending doomsday scenario. Predicting the exact timing and impact of any future eruption is challenging. Volcanic activity can change rapidly, and even the most sophisticated monitoring systems can't provide a precise forecast. But based on our current understanding, the odds of a major eruption at Yellowstone in the near future are exceedingly low. So, while an eruption could theoretically wipe out the United States, it's not something we need to lose sleep over. The reality is far less dramatic. Yellowstone will continue to be a source of fascination with its geysers and hot springs, a natural wonder that reminds us of the dynamic and ever-changing planet we call home. So, the United States ceasing to exist due to a volcanic eruption? Not quite likely. Let's take a moment to summarize what we've covered in this video. We began with a thought-provoking hypothetical, the idea of Yellowstone, one of the world's most formidable supervolcanoes, suddenly erupting and erasing the United States from the map. A scenario that, while it makes for a compelling plot in a Hollywood blockbuster, isn't quite grounded in reality. We delved into the nature of Yellowstone itself, the sleeping giant, a dormant supervolcano that last erupted 70,000 years ago. We explored the spectacular geothermal features of the park, from the reliable Old Faithful geyser to the vividly colored Grand Prismatic Spring. These features are testament to the immense geothermal activity happening beneath the surface, a constant reminder of the power that lies dormant. Next, we examined the potential impact of a Yellowstone super-eruption. It would indeed be a cataclysmic event, with severe global climatic effects. But here's the important part. The probability of such an event occurring in our lifetime, or even in the next few thousand years, is incredibly low. We also discussed the predictions and assessments of scientists who are actively monitoring the volcanic activity in Yellowstone. They've made it clear that while the park is capable of a super-eruption, there is no imminent threat. In fact, they believe it's more likely that minor events like steam, hot water, or lava flows may occur. Does this mean we can completely rule out a catastrophic eruption in the future? No. The Earth is a dynamic planet, and predicting its behavior with absolute certainty is beyond our current capabilities. But it's crucial to remember that the odds are incredibly low, and there's no need for immediate concern. While the United States isn't likely to disappear overnight due to a volcano, it's always fascinating to explore the what-ifs that our world presents us with.